But I wanted to bring up some things so you can see that God had Solomon. I have a whole story, and I'll go over the whole story if you need me to. And I wanted to show some things to you, because this is what they're going to do. Pharisees going to do this. Okay? Solomon, Asa, read the story yourself. Go to Psalms 105 and 37. He brought them forth also with silver and gold, and there was not one feeble person among their tribes. Silver and gold is a person that's, like I say, is Most High compare that to, in a spiritual form, as being a goat is silver. Gold is a sheep. Okay. To prove that point, let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 8. And we're going to start at 10. It's about King David. Then Toy sent Joram, his son, unto King David to salute him and to bless him, because he had fought against Hadaezer and smitten him. Smitten is Psalms 141 and 5. Smitten him with the words of God. For Hadaezer had wars with Toy, and Joram brought with him vessels of silver, men, had water, vessels of gold, men, and vessels of brass, men that still learning. Verse 11. Which also King David did dedicate unto the Lord with silver and gold. Again, do you think King David would dedicate things already belong to the Most High? Silver and gold for his stones, precious stones, carnal stones. These were men. Go to Exodus 25 and 2. The Most High is talking to Moses. Speak unto the children of Israel that they bring me an offering of every man that giveth it willingly, his heart, which is mine, and his soul, willingly. With this, see, with his heart, you shall take my offering. Willingly. It has to be willingly. Okay. I gave a class about David. On one occasion, he forced people. And that's the reason why the Most High didn't want him to build a house. Too much blood was on his hand. I want you to go to, because this is what they're going to do. And I want you to remember this. Go to Hosea chapter 10, verse 8, because they're going to lie about it. The high places also of Avon, the said of Israel, shall be destroyed. The thorn and the thistle, the Pharisee and the Sadducee shall come up on the altars. And they shall say to the mountains, cover us, and to the hills, follow us. What is he talking about? The mountains. I heard one camp leader in purple say that's the fallout shelter. Who in the world would want a mountain to fall on them? You're going to die. That's what he said. And they took it. This is what he's talking about. Go to Isaiah chapter 28 and 15. This is what he wants. These thorns, these briars, which are thistles, are Pharisees and Sadducees. This is what they're gonna. This is what they're gonna do. It's one of the mountains, because we read it was plural mountains. Because ye have said, and we have made a covenant with death. Because they about to find out these things, that actually Abraham converted the Gentiles, Isaac, Jacob, King David, Solomon, King Asa, Jonah, Christ was converting the Gentiles. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies, mountain of lies, over there in purple, and because the rest of them followed him, our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. That's one lie. That's one lie, one mount. Now, go to Proverbs chapter 26 and 26, because it mentioned mountains, right? This is the other one. And it reads, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His hatred is covered by deceit. That man, hatred. Now, that all he does is teach her hate. That's all he teaches. He's a hate group. Read that again. Whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be shewed before the whole congregation. This was happening now. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth the stone, it shall return upon him. That's what's going on with him now. A lying tongue don't told all them lies. Hateth those that are afflicted by it, and flattering mouth worketh ruin. Let me show y'all something. Go to Psalms 83, because they always go to this. When you read Psalms 83, and it tells the people, the Edomites, the Moabites, and Gabal, Hammonites, and Israelites, and so forth. But y'all need to concentrate on a little further back. Read Psalms 81 with spiritual eyes. Let's start at 81 and 9. There shall no strange God be in thee. A strange God is a person other than God. That temple, this temple belongs to God. None. No strange God, no idol should be in your congregation. Y'all don't make them gods. Neither shalt thou worship any strange God. It's strange that you say you're not doing it, but you are. Look around. Tabernacle. You're working yourself to death for them. Everything you do, you're trying to please them. You don't ran your mother off. They told you to get rid of your daddy in the beginning when they came here to Georgia. Now all of a sudden they got a little money. Now they trying to act like that didn't happen. They stood up two young men, and they treat them like mess. And the one that was judging them, trying to correct them, he the one manipulated. The person used to make films to manipulate the rich man, the football player. Y'all don't forgot about that. They covered up a murder case. I told the guys that girl is dead. No, she's not dead. They found the body. They sent guys over there to that country. And you know who I'm talking about. Now he's back. Psalms 81 verse 10. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it with understanding. But my people will not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. See? So I gave them up unto their own heart, lust, and they walked in their own counsels. You know, when you read about Solomon had elders. Those men that was around him, it said that Solomon was surrounded by gold. Those the men. Those elders, that was the gold. Those men. Because, when that Rehoboam took over, his council was young men. And that's when it started falling. Fast. Verse 13. Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways, I should soon have subdued their enemies. You have enemies. Your biggest enemy is yourself first, the old man in you that you have to get rid of. Then it's Pharisees. Remember, we read it. John chapter 19, verse 11. He said, the one that delivered me unto you has the greater sin. The haters, saw some haters in Israel of the Lord should have submitted themselves unto me, but their time should have endured forever. See, their time. So the enemies are within Israel. The Pharisees. See that? But their time should have endured forever. Go to Isaiah 48 and 18. They always go to Psalms 83. Read Psalms 81. It's the Pharisees. A man put you in captivity first with your mind. That's what's been put in a lot of their minds. He put that seed in them. Before you can lead somebody into captivity, carnal captivity, you got to mess them up spiritually, their mind. And that's what it did. They stopped worshiping the Most High and start worshiping these idols. The Pharisees first. But go to Isaiah 48 and 18. Oh, that thou had hearkened to my commandments, then had that thy peace been as a river, and thy righteousness as the waves of the sea. Thy seed also had been as the sand, and the offspring of thy bowels like the gravel thereof. His name should have not been cut off, nor destroyed from before thee. You see? And I want y'all to go to Isaiah. This is another thing that got y'all fooled. They tricked y'all. And I give a long class on each topic I'm bringing up. I wanted you to get this about Solomon. He was converting the Gentiles also. Go to Isaiah chapter 52 and 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. That's how they be out on the street. They tell lies. Because Pharisees taught you wrong. He taught you carnally. Now, he got you on the street telling lies that these people cannot get the kingdom. And all that time, Abraham was converting the Gentiles. Isaac, Jacob, and so forth. But now you're on the street telling lies. Let's go on. Isaiah 52 and 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. They are full of the fear of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God. Y'all mad. Because carnally, you can see we was in carnal captivity. But you can't see the psychological captivity that the Pharisee put you in. Now you're lying out there on the street. Okay. King David had that problem. He had that problem. Now, let's go to Luke chapter 14 and verse 16. And Christ is about to tell a story. Okay. Then said he unto him, a certain man made a great supper, and bade many, and sent his servant a supper time to say to them their bidden. Come, for all things are now ready. And they all with one consent began to make excuse. The verse said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must needs go and see it. I pray thee, have me excused. And another said, have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them, and I pray thee, have me excused. Another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. So that servant came and shewed his Lord these things. I want y'all to remember this. Shewed his Lord. His Lord. See, the Most High speak double at one time. His Lord. Remember, this is a lowercase Lord. Verse 21. So that servant came and shewed his Lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, go out quickly unto the streets and lanes. This is a Lord. This is a Pharisee. Go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in hither the poor and the maimed and the halt and the blind. Verse 22. And the servant said, Lord. Now there's a different scenario. He's speaking double. Think. Lowercase Lord. Now it's God. Verse 22. And the servant said, Lord, it is done as thou hast commanded, and yet there is room. Now he's going back to the lowercase Lord. And the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges, and force them to come in, that my house may be filled. That's the Pharisee talking now. Check this out. Verse 24. But I say unto you, that none of those men which were bidden shall taste of my supper. Those men that you forced, Pharisee. Check this out. And there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother, if you said that Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and those other prophets wasn't converting those people, you are a liar. Because if you love God, you will keep his commandments, because that's what they did. Verse 26. And if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother, that right there, they manipulate minds over there with Pharisee to put Pharisee first. Christ not saying hate your mother and father. This is what he's saying. And I'll finish reading this, and I get a precept for it. But the Pharisee have you hating everybody. They will make you choose them first over everybody else. Verse 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brother and sister, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Verse 27. And whosoever does not bear his cross, his own, killing the old man, you can't depend on that man to lead you in the right way. His cross is killing the old man. Romans chapter 6 and verse 6. You got to crucify that old man. That's what he's talking about. And come after me cannot be my disciples. You follow that man which is in purple, thinking he can bear that cross for you. Now, I mentioned 1 Thessalonians 21 say I have to prove all things. Verse 26, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brother and sisters, yea, and his own life, also he cannot be my disciple. He's not saying hate them. He said, let me show you what he's saying. I know it says it right now, but you have to do research because it's stumbling blocks, remember? Go to Matthew 10 and 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. That's what he's saying. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. God saying this. This was Christ saying, because he is the word of God. So when you go back to Luke chapter 14 and 26, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brother and sister, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Y'all love that bishop more than you love Christ. Verse 27. And whosoever does not bear his cross, Romans 6 and 6, knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. You got to kill the old man yourself. Let's go back to Luke chapter 15, 27. And whosoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Everybody following that man, if he's not following Christ, he's not going to make it. For which of you intended to build a tower? This is schools. A tower is a church, is a school. Sitteth not down first and counted the cost. You didn't count the cost, bishop. Whether he have sufficient to finish it. Now all these things, all these lies about to surface back up. That's what it said. You didn't consider the cost. You know what the cost is? Death. Because the Most High is going to kill all sinners. Lucifer. Lest happily, after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold, it begun to mark him. That's what's about to happen to you. Mark. It's about to happen. It's about to mark you. All these lies going to surface back up. I have other precepts. You should have counted the cost. You know what the cost is, don't you? Okay. Another one. Let's go to John chapter 16, verse 1. These things have I spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service. Those men over there, they actually think they're doing it for God. Whatever that bishop say, do. You have been tricked by Pharisee. So I'm in that class, and it's truly all this going to be entering on television. I have no doubt. Solomon was building a spiritual house. A spiritual house. Okay? A spiritual house. If you enjoyed this class, please press thumbs up, share, and as always, I'm Elder Pop Samuel, and I bid you shalom.